Isaiah writes, "A voice says, 'Cry out.' And I say, 'What shall I cry?' All people are like grass. Their constancy is like the flower of the field. The grass withers and the flower fades when the breath of the Lord blows upon it. Surely the people are grass. The grass withers and the flowers fade, but the word of our God will stand forever." 2 weeks ago in my social innovation course in Vancouver, we played a game, if you can even call it that, called Lifeboat, which I mentioned briefly last Sunday. It isn't really a game at all, although it has all the characteristics of one. We sit in a circle together. The teacher reads out a set of instructions for us, and 4 rocks are placed in the center of this circle to symbolize a certain action. In this case, picking up the rock in the center means choosing to die. Each person gets their turn as we go around the circle until finally, when all the stones are taken up, the game ends. There aren't really any winners or losers in this game, though there are some people in that circle where I'm sitting that think not choosing death is the same thing as winning. In other words, they think that staying alive means winning, surviving. So why don't we try it? You're just going to kind of do this in your minds a little bit, but think about this. Imagine that all of us here are sitting in a lifeboat. Only half of us here can live, which means the other half of us must die. The reasons why it's happening don't really matter, or the circumstances. All you need to know is that when it comes to your turn, you choose life or you choose death, to die. It's that simple and it's that complicated. Then after that, once you've chosen, you get to explain why you choose life or why you choose death. And the game keeps going until half the people have chosen death. You kind of do it within yourself here, though. After that, it ends. So let's start. So the first person in the circle is you. It's you. You have to choose one of the rocks sitting in the center, and then that way you choose to die, or you choose to leave the rock, and you choose to live. Which do you choose, and why? Don't think about it too much. It's one or the other. You choose life, or you choose death. Which one is it? I'm going to ask you to share life. Okay, there you go. From the person who's 4 years old. Who here chooses life? Put your hand up. Okay, good amount. Does anyone here choose death? Okay, Keith. Yeah, a few people. Okay. Well, the first 4 people in our circle of 8 at the Social Innovation course, they choose life. Many of them feel like they haven't lived a full life, that there's still more to go. One woman of the 4 is actually pregnant and, of course, wants to see her baby come into the world. It makes a lot of sense. Then we get to number 5. To everyone's surprise, actually, she does pick up one of these rocks. I've lived a full life, she explains. She's actually only 26 years old. I'm not that old, but I've done enough. And I'm ready to go. I'm ready to be at peace. No one says anything. It's just quiet. And it goes on to the next person. She also picks up a rock. I've always wondered what death is like. She says, I don't want to kill myself or anything, but I think I'm okay with dying. she says, holding that rock in her hand. The next person chooses life for many of the same reasons that you might have chosen life: family, friends, the pain of letting go, the pain of what others would feel if you are gone, many things that you still feel like you need to do or experience. And then it comes to me, and I choose life for all those same reasons. But strangely inside of me there is something tugging. Something in me wants to pick up the rock, and I'm surprised. Why would I want to die? Round 2. So what do you choose this time? Do you choose life, or do you choose death? Well, it's a real quick reversal there. Life or death? I'll ask you again in a bit. Not surprising, the first 4, they choose life again. I'm not ready, we hear, and over again, there's more to do. Yet there's a real sense of tension inside of their voices. Then it comes to the other 2 who chose death last time. Instead of reflecting on what will be in their lives, or what they have to do, or what they might miss out on, or what they could do, they say things like, I feel a real sense of peace. And another woman says, I feel for the rest of you as you struggle. I can watch you struggle with the things that are pulling you in different directions. And once again, the desire to choose that rock washes over me. I still have the feelings of loss and pain, but there's also a deep sense for some reason that perhaps, just perhaps, everything will be okay in the end. And so when it comes to my turn, I do pick up a small brown rock. And so now there is one left. So round 3, where are you at? Of course, this went much slower in that other circumstance, and we were processing a lot of things. Feel any different about what you've chosen? Can you feel the sense of peace in one area, the tension in life? Well, round 4 goes, the same rocks, the same thing, people choose the same. The rock in the center is still there. Round 5, everyone chooses the same ones. Round 6. And this is where it gets interesting. The tension in that lifeboat is thick. There are some other people that seems to be getting close to being able to actually just let go. And those of us who have chosen death continue to reflect on our lives, what they were. But slowly there's this sense that we are getting unchained from our past. Those who are still alive keep struggling deeply with this question. And when it comes to my final turn, something amazing happens for me. I close my eyes as I explain to the group one more time what is happening as I think about dying and being dead. I feel myself above the world, and I can see my family who is still alive there. And suddenly time begins to go faster. A day is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is like a day. My parents grow older and older and are finally being buried. Vanessa and my brother are older, along with the kids. Soon they too have died. The earth begins to change in ways that I simply cannot comprehend or understand, and soon there is nothing left for me to even recognize of what was. Nothing left for me to be held in that space. And it's in that moment that I get this vision of the sky opening up above me, in front of me, behind me, and space opening into eternity, and eternity rushing towards me. And I am free in a way that I have never felt free before in my life. And in that eternity, there is a wideness, and there is a love that I have never known at any other point. A voice says, "Cry out." And I say, "What shall I cry?" All people are grass. Their constancy is like the flower of the field. The grass withers, the flowers fade, when the breath of the Lord blows upon it. Surely the people are grass. The grass withers, and the flower fades. But the word of our God will stand forever and ever and ever. Amen. All might remain seated as we sing our song of the day, "Welcome to Our World."